It is like a finger pointing away to the moon.
Thinking is medieval. They are asking all the wrong questions.
I'm sure. Good luck on that subway ride home, you miserable, ugly f***ing wives.
People don't know what they want until you show it to them.
Trust me, I'm not driving a 7 Series without strippers.
I think I read Warren Buffett say something like that.
What?
Right.
Who's Warren Buffett?
Alrighty.
Birthday pumps.
Episode 4?
Birthday pumps.
Have we been doing this for a month?
February, if the month was February, yes. Because it's 4 weeks exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
Hell yeah. Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
This is great.
Happy 1 month.
Yeah. I wish we had a chart. I wish I knew exactly what Bitcoin was at when we started the podcast. I don't
Oh, that'd
remember
been
what
pretty good.
we need to find out and keep track of that.
Yep.
Just as mental notes.
It's funny that last week we were kind of freaking out about starting at like 56, and then by the time we left, it was like in the low 54s, and we're like, oh, it's over. And now we're mad. We're mad that it's at 56.
Yeah, between last pod and this pod, we crossed 60.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of it's not really dipping. We're just going sideways
Yeah, no,
again.
I've had a whole new set of reasons to be frustrated.
Yep.
And
yeah, you've had a stressful week.
Yeah.
And then we progressively made it.
Yeah, March 13th, my birthday, was the 61.
That's right.
Was the 60 and the 61.
We rang it in.
And if my birthday is the local top or the macro top, I'd be really upset.
I kind of like it.
That's because you want in. We want discounts on Bitcoin
I do
now.
want this. Yeah, we talk about this. We're both torn between like wanting.
Can we get life-changing wealth now, or do we need 3 more years?
I would like 2 to 3 more years
to ape.
But where do we want to start this week? I guess.
I don't know, man.
India kind of FUD, which is like
again.
Sort of.
The classic. Classic India again.
I saw this and I almost didn't even. I still don't fully understand why it was talked about so much, because I feel like this is something we see fairly often.
Yeah, especially from them.
So a bill was proposed.
Yeah.
On banning cryptocurrency.
Yeah, so nothing passed, but the news hit like it passed.
Exactly.
Or you never quite know if it's the narrative or if it's like the momentum that the narrative builds. Like it was already. I think people are already feeling a little bit of froth at the top. And then something like that comes through, and it's like, oh, I need an excuse to let it go down a little bit.
Yeah, it feels very narrative-driven. The fact that, for 2 straight days, I saw nothing but this, and it seems like a headline I've seen multiple times over the years from multiple countries. Yeah. And nothing like that ever passed. Countries are not going to ban cryptocurrency. That doesn't make any sense.
No, and like within the past 6 months, it's made it abundantly clear that any government that actually, if a government's going to ban it, the work it's going to have to do to untangle that knot when it becomes more globally acceptable and how far they will be behind. It's like, I'd be very surprised. I think I saw something about how, I don't know if Nigeria banned it, but there was some news in Nigeria. I think it was actually, I think it was trying to prohibit it. And then trading went up 13% the next week. Yeah, you can't. If that's the point, is the decentralization, and if your government's the one going against it, they're like, well, time to decentralize.
Interesting. Well, what's funny about that, I saw just before we started, I guess one of the spokespeople for a blockchain that China is building on right now, they're talking about still going all in, but they want it to be a government-controlled blockchain that they can just... the quote literally was, if they do something we don't like, we can just delete the whole block. Which doesn't...
It's okay, like a government employee said that?
Yeah, or somebody... I mean, he doesn't work for the government, but he works for the government. Yeah. And which is hilarious to me, because China's literally like, yeah, we like this whole thing, but we're going to take out all the stuff that...
Yeah, all the protection stuff. But I mean, that's the reason they don't have real Facebook and don't have real Google and don't have real MySpace, is because like that's a little too much freedom, guys. Clubhouse was open for 2 days, and they almost overthrew they didn't almost overthrow the government, but... Clubhouse was open for 2 days, and the Chinese government's like, we gotta stop people communicating so much.
So yeah, I mean it's literally just the definition of FUD. I don't see any of this stuff actually affecting. I don't even think it affected the market. I think it was just something that circulated.
I think it's reactionary. I think that you see a dip, and then you have really high leverage people get shorted, get liquidated, which you just see that huge candle of those people actually want it to go higher. They have buy orders in. But because they get liquidated, they are forced to sell, so it looks like somebody doubling down and panic selling. Yep. And then you have panic sellers reacting to that versus the people who understand and try to scalp. It's a whole... It happens literally like every turn of the price action, it seems.
Yeah, and the farther we go along down this path of I don't know, I guess institutional investment into Bitcoin, I just see more and more narrative-driven FUD. And very much in line with the the Wall Street environmental stuff that we're starting to see, which is...
That was Kevin O'Leary, right? That was on the.
Yeah,
talking about the article
he had a
in the
pretty big
article?
statement about it today, saying that I don't know if it was his actual opinion or if he's just speaking for Wall Street. What he's saying.
Well, because remember when we talked about it a couple weeks ago, the tweet that he put out says he will be looking into zero carbon mining. That
Yes.
was in the tweet that he said when he's putting
Yeah.
towards his portfolio. So I'm assuming he's smart enough to know that that is the story that they need to spin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are certain companies that if they just announced tomorrow they bought $1 billion in Bitcoin, I don't know if you could say their stock price would drop on the news, but you would get a lot of people mad.
Is the environmental FUD really that big? Like, or is it just kind of a Twitter thing? Because I don't really know if people are actually concerned about it. I thought I saw it during the NFT rise.
Right, which is the same thing. It was just they realized what mining was.
I just don't think anyone of any importance actually cares, which is funny.
No, I don't think so, because it just goes into the bigger play of like, is electricity going to be part of our future? Well, it kind of has to be. Is it going to grow in exponentially over the next couple decades? Yeah, I would hope so.
It's just funny that this is the topic we're doubling down on environmental concerns on.
Yeah.
It is the most narrative driven thing I've seen.
I think because I think anybody will try to pin the climate on whatever the biggest news is, and this one's just easy.
I guess it feels like a stretch when you actually compare it. We talked about it a little bit last week, but it's just
Yeah, if you compare, but that's the thing. No, like.
Yeah.
It's almost like we already know Bank of America is a big bad monster, so it's like Bank of America uses too much electricity.
Yeah,
and
what are we
everyone's
gonna
like,
do about
duh,
it?
they use too much everything. We hate them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But Bitcoin is like an idea, and they can pin it on that group of people. It's like, oh, those crypto people, bad people. It's like, I would be Bitcoin rich, but I have a conscience.
Yeah,
That's well, we talked about FOMO last time. That's
what's keeping you from.
I need a reason that I tried to invest a couple years ago, lost all my money, got mad, and now I'm never going to hold a coin again.
Yep. And then that false narrative is pushing Wall Street to pretend like they care.
Sure. Yeah, they love the
for their
the
their
newest
shareholders.
green movement.
That's fine. I don't even know what green Bitcoin will look like. I don't even know.
I really don't.
I don't know enough about the mining side to understand how they can go about that unless they get more solar powered.
For me, it comes down to eventually we're just going to have to solve the carbon capture issue.
Yep.
And when we do that, we can be done with this conversation.
Elon
hopefully.
will fix that.
That would be wonderful. Or he's going to pay somebody. He has it out there. Pay somebody a lot of money.
He owes like $100 million.
Yeah, to do it. Just some 14-year-old kid.
Yep. It'll be a science
Siberia.
project. It'll be great.
I'm excited.
Yep. What else we got news wise? I feel like a lot happened this week.
Yeah, definitely a lot. It's just anytime we have crazy price action, I guess it's not. I guess it's a story, but a non-story. This was the most subtle all-time high we had by far.
It didn't feel like it at all.
No, we broke it by like $3,000. I don't think we peaked much over $3,000.
Did we? We hit 61 for a bit.
Yeah,
Right?
which would be $3-ish. Yeah, 3 and change over. But that's. I think before we hit 58, we were in the 40s, right? Like. I think kind of after we broke 50, we just like went right to 58. Yeah, the 3K. So you'd like to think that this is decision time
For whom?
for the up or down. Like,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
maybe we're losing steam, and if we're going to keep going up, it's just going to be smaller and smaller. But if we're already at the 3K squeeze,
You mean for this cycle as a whole? Maybe.
yeah, I mean,
It's funny.
can the cycle just take 3 months off, going sideways, kind of?
We've never seen it with Bitcoin,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. We haven't seen any of these.
we're
recent.
kind of in uncharted territory with crypto as a whole right now, anyway. So who knows what's
we
going to
are.
happen? But it was like George was saying on Cryptos RS, like this felt like you were saying, like the most non-event of a top we've seen, and like hitting 30 and 40K felt so heavy, and for some reason now we're poking at another all-time high, twice as high as 30K, and no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with everyone is now 100% convinced we're going to 100K within 2 or 3 months. Like that is almost like
laser eyes till
just
1,000.
completely
till 100K.
accepted across the board. So now anything under 100K we don't even care about, which is maybe a good thing, maybe
Yeah.
a bad. I don't really know what to think about that.
Yep. I think people round up in their brain, but traders don't. When we saw it went to 58, everyone's like, "Oh, it almost hit 60." Then when it did break 60, it's like, "We did that before." I don't like. It wasn't even trending on Twitter. Like
No one-
when it broke 50K, like you couldn't turn anywhere without hearing about it.
Yep.
It's very interesting.
I guess the next big mainstream media moment will have to be 100K, because that's
Yeah.
the only number that makes sense.
Yeah, agreed. Which is crazy that's double from where it is now. Because I'm throwing a party if it hits in the 80s.
Yeah.
That was my call. 84 was my call this
cycle.
This cycle. So
I just can't, man. If for some I don't know enough to predict what it'll mean for the market, but if for some reason it doesn't hit 100K this cycle, I'll be very surprised. I mean, and also if it doesn't, I think it'll be very it'll be because a lot of big institutions just want a longer chance to get in.
yeah,
It has to be that.
in my heart of hearts, I feel like this is more than halfway over. So I can't say 100K. I don't think we're gonna hit 100K this cycle.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought very differently a couple months ago. But
I watched too many bullish crypto Twitter guys.
And then I assume I'm never gonna make money ever. So I FUD myself to death.
You've been making.
Well,
We've been there.
we'll go there. Michael, what do we have behind us today?
Oh, we did not even talk about this.
We're talking about it right now.
Yeah, we are. So we have an awesome NFT from @unsophisticator on Twitter. This is kind of something fun we talked about doing each week. I think we wanted to feature an NFT.
Yeah, we tweeted out, and I also tweeted that the saying NFT artist sounds kind of funny because it's just art. Like NFT is, we're never going to say NFT artist.
But that's the hashtag on Twitter. So
You don't say film photographer or like digital photographer. You just say photographer.
Sure.
So artists. Any artists that have NFTs, we're just
send them to us.
Yeah, we at Crypto Dojo.
Yeah. Crypto Dojo Pod. I'll throw it up.
Crypto Dojo Pod, perfect.
And
yeah, DM us, respond to the tweet at us, whatever. And then so we want to feature kind of one artist or one art piece
once a week.
Yeah, once a week, just to kind of get the ball rolling. This one, little Akira reference.
Yep.
A little pill popping.
Shout out to Adderall.
I love it. I love the aesthetic. It kind of fits what we're doing here. A little bit of the blue and a little purple.
I love it. And link in the doobly-doo for purchases. I think it's on Rarible. I think she just got onboarded onto another platform too.
Okay, one of the invite-onlys. I know that's kind of getting...
Either way, link to purchase all of her stuff at Unsophisticator will be in the description. And
beautiful.
Everyone else send us stuff next week, and we'll feature a new artist.
Yeah.
Very excited.
That does remind me, we need to buy Senor Lupe's.
And we did tell Lupe we were going to purchase
we're going to do it.
Yep.
We're going to do it.
We'll probably have to feature Lupe next week.
We will do that next week. Yeah, we wanted to get this one because we had it kind of ready to go.
Yep.
But and we don't know how to buy any NFTs yet. So
yeah, we just haven't.
We used our gas doing much more responsible things.
Oh, we'll get into that. Yeah, we went full Degen this week.
But, I love that you say that word. You know it's short for degenerate.
Yes.
You say it like bogan, like an Australian person.
Oh, the way I pronounce
Degen, like bogan. It's degen.
Yeah, but I
degenerate.
I like pronouncing it Degen.
I always think you're saying deacon, which I assume is a Walking Dead character.
Deacon?
Yeah, it sounds like a Walking Dead character.
That's Negan.
Yeah, that's that too. Yeah, I don't. It sounds like you're saying deacon.
When I hear deacon, because I grew up Catholic, so I think of like you have priests, and you have deacons.
Deacons in the church.
Yeah, I like pronouncing it Degen because
I think it's funny.
I've always seen it spelled that way, so I'm like, that's how it's.
That's what I was wondering if you read it. It's like
I read the abbreviation.
Yeah, what's the lizard that changes colors?
Huh?
How do you pronounce the word for the lizard that changes colors?
Like a chameleon?
There you go.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Did you think I was going to say chameleon?
Yeah, because there's an episode of something where they make fun of somebody because he says chameleon, and they're like,
that's actually not a bad idea. Chameleon might be the move.
Yeah, that sounds like a rapper.
Yeah, no. Degen just rolls out.
I like it.
It's a very forceful word. I like it.
We'll never reference it again. So when you say it and we finally start getting some YouTube comments rolling in, it becomes the inside joke.
I'm going to completely not acknowledge any of them.
Yeah,
we're going full Degen.
Full Degen.
Yep.
What else we got on the docket?
I really, the more I didn't dive into it as much as you did, but this Almeida versus Reef situation.
Okay, so yeah, I wanted to segment out these a little bit. So here's the segment. What did we learn this week?
Oh yes.
I learned that Sam.
Yeah.
Is a person, and I would like to do other segments like this where we kind of profile people.
Okay.
Like a documenting Bitcoin history type of move.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Sam, you just say Sam on crypto Twitter and people know who you're talking about. That deserves some sort of recognition. So Sam, I'm not even gonna mess up his name. Sam is the founder of FTX, which I believe is the largest trading platform by volume.
Okay.
It is pretty obviously the best from everybody outside of the United States or in the country of VPN.
Okay. Are you looking for his actual name?
I am looking for his actual name. I think it's Bankman-Fried.
Okay.
I just wanted to Sam Bankman-Fried. We can't do a profile on somebody and then literally know only his first name, but that is very crypto
Sure, we
Twitter.
can. Yeah, I was about to say.
So his other claim to fame is he started Solana, and that we talked about that last time. That's kind of that's the base. Like the Ethereum is the base that he's building stuff on. He's trying to build on his Solana network.
Okay.
So they call that one of the bigger ETH killers out there. And for whatever reason, this man has a reputation of, if you buy, I don't know if they call them ICOs, but if you buy his tokens early, you'll get a pump. It probably will go down a lot from there, but like it's the crypto OGs know. Samcoin comes out. Is it a scam? Meh, but you get a guaranteed pump, you get a guaranteed dump, and you're like, cool. Then you maybe become something afterwards.
So it's like a socially acceptable rug pull.
Kinda, yeah. Where it still is a product and it doesn't lose all of its value, but the initial, I guess, just the hype this man brings is so. Oxy is what he launched, I believe, today.
Okay.
And I think the same thing. It went up an insane amount in a couple hours, and then my entire feed was, "LOL, thanks guys, shorting Oxy short term."
Awesome.
And those people are probably going to do pretty well. But you know, he's obviously a smart dude. But this story is very interesting. Moving along from who he is to this. Him and his company, I guess Alameda is the company that
it's his investment.
His investment company. Yeah. They wanted to get involved in Reef, which I don't know too much about. I know they're a DeFi project and they're pretty small. Had a rapid rise last couple of years. Funny enough, talked about on the Up Only podcast with KSI.
Dope.
KSI found it when it was like a couple $1 million market cap and put $1 million in.
Oh, that was that coin.
That was that coin, and it exploded. I think he did Reef because it's like reefer, kind of like weed joke. And so he put $1 million in, which was like 1/10 of the market cap or something. It exploded, and I'm pretty sure he kept it in and rolled it all the way to zero. No, actually, I think he cashed out big and then distributed all that money into shitcoins that all went to zero.
Great.
So he's like, I'm kind of brilliant, but not. So it was just, I was like, oh, that's a classic 2017, 2018 story. So hearing him talk about that was funny. But yeah, now Reef is apparently still around and is respectable enough where Sam and the boys thought it was worth an investment, an $80 million investment.
So they broke it. They were supposed to break it up into two separate investments.
Is that okay?
From what I understand, they were supposed to do an initial. It was either an initial $20 million, and then they were going to do a press release and do $60 million buy after, or vice versa. I don't remember which was which, but apparently they did the first one.
I believe it was all in coins.
Yes, it was a
all
coin.
All in Reef coins.
So yeah, but so they bought that dollar amount of coins, 20 million or 60 million worth of coins. And then before the press release or something, as soon as they bought them, they transferred all of them onto Binance.
Yeah.
And just sold.
Well, I don't think they did sell.
Oh, I thought they sold.
I think they...
Or they were preparing to sell.
You kind of get a little bit of he said, she said here.
Yeah.
From what I could read, they transferred it over to Binance, and then Reef... And then people saw the transfer into an exchange, which is normally a sign that everything's going to get sold. So the price plummeted because people thought a whale was about to sell. And I don't think they technically ever sold out of it.
Okay.
But Reef pulled the deal because they were like, you guys, you're clearly not long-term strategic partners with us if you did that because you
were preparing to sell.
Made us rug, like you just like you tanked the valuation so much before we could even say what exciting news there was. It looked like somebody big came in and like whoop and pulled out.
And my favorite part of this whole story is because, like you said, it's all he said, she said, because this entire deal was done through Telegram.
Oh, this is the future.
This is my favorite. This is the most crypto thing I've ever heard. $80 million deal.
Handshake agreement.
Was done digitally through Telegram. And they both sides came out and said there were absolutely no contracts. This was all just now. Of course, the he said she said comes from one side says they did agree to wait and still purchase the second order, and the other side says no, we didn't agree to that. And then also, I think Reef apparently there was an understanding that they wouldn't transfer into an exchange and do this within a certain time period.
Right, because it would have been
because of this reason.
Yeah, no, I think that Reef was thinking, well, clearly they're going to hold the token if they're long. Like if we're going to build something together, they're going to. This is like getting a stock as part of a merger. You don't immediately go and liquidate your stock because then it gets out and it looks like you don't believe in your own partnership.
Yep.
I think kind of both sides have. I'm sure.
I mean, Almeida's response was just there were no contracts, which is he's not wrong.
That's never a good.
That's. I mean,
you're falling
now
back
it just
on
sounds
that.
like you meant to kind of lie.
Yeah,
but
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about this man's moral standing. So I can't even tell if it was like, scam coins. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Sam coin equals scam coin.
And I don't know anything about Reef or I don't know anything about the project as a whole, or I just think it's funny that we have reached a point now in the market where there's this much money floating around. We can have $80 million deals through Telegram without contracts.
Yeah.
And these major
sometimes it
companies and
explodes.
investment firms are just like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, how many of these happen that we never hear about because there was no big exchange or like Sam wasn't involved?
Or they worked out. Or
Yeah, exactly. You have a strategic actual partnership.
Like, where are the smart contracts? I thought.
yeah, seriously. Thought these contracts got smarter.
Is that what this is supposed to fix? Is
No,
this type of stuff?
I don't think so.
No.
I think
Okay.
you could still handshake agree. On some
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know. Because again, I just saw it. You added it to the notes to talk about, and I dove in a little bit. And as soon as I saw it was on Telegram, I was like, "This is awesome. This is my favorite.
I think
my favorite
it
part of the
just-
story."
Yeah, the facts of it are go look for yourself, read the story. It's very entertaining, but it's more like what a good bookmark of where we are in the
Yep.
world. Because in my mind, if something like this happened from like a company listed on the NASDAQ,
Yeah, we're talking.
the SEC investigations and stuff that would flow out of this and the stuff you have to file, they're just like, you
mean-
want to do this? We're doing this. Hey, 80 million? Yeah.
Elon gets investigated every other week for tweets.
Yeah,
because he owns
true.
a public traded company.
And you wonder why people are flocking to like a more decentralized.
Yep.
It's because this stuff can happen,
It's
and
more
then
fun.
it falls apart. Deal with it like adults.
Yeah.
Did you do what you said you were going to do? Technically, okay. Well, then that's what you get for being shady.
This is way more fun.
Way more fun.
This is Degen as hell.
Way better stories.
I love it. All right, so what else did we learn this week?
Oh Jesus!
I know you. Okay, so
Did I announce that I was going to do this? I don't think I did. So
You did- yeah.
Oh, that was it. I had the dream that I tried to.
That's how
that
this
I
started.
tried to margin trade and it didn't work, and that inceptioned so hard in me that I was like, well, now I have to make a margin trade because I just want to see. I just like one. It's a prediction, so it's like sports betting. You're like, oh, I was right. Feels better than just like buying and like watching it go up. So yeah, I shorted Litecoin at 220,
okay.
thinking that it would be kind of like the tweets I saw where you put in, you put in like, oh, I'm buying it here, and then the strike price. There's the mark price and the strike price. And I don't know what the difference between those two are.
All
That's
right.
probably important. I thought I was going to learn this through my experience, but no. Turns out, shorting and longing is just essentially currency trading, where if you think the price of Litecoin is going to go down, well, then borrow Litecoin and sell it, and then pay it back later at a lower rate. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's it. I just felt like there was going to be such a bigger game to play. I was like, no, it's literally like, oh, this currency is going to go up or down. So yeah, I'll just hold. I have a liability of a couple Litecoin. Traded it out to some dollars, tethered it up, as they say, and was waiting to close my position. Now, here's the thing. I thought I was being a good frugal young man, and was like, okay, well, if I got to tether it up, then, and I already have like enough collateral on my margin account, then I might as well go make my tether work for me a little bit. Put it in a little pool, stake a little liquidity, make a little bit of money back on loaning out tether, and then the market crashed, and it got around that 190 something. I was like, yeah, that's a good $30 dip per Litecoin. I think that's, and then realized that my tether was tied up in these little micro investments that I had going on, and I couldn't close my short position.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, that's the part I didn't fully understand when you were telling me earlier. So
Yeah.
the reason you weren't as liquid is because you were loaning out your tether at
Yes.
the same time as the short.
Because I already was loaning out tether because I kept it in there.
I mean, that's been the best thing you've
It's been
figured out this
consistency.
cycle.
Yeah. Well, and if the market levels out, like if we hit
Yeah.
a kind of a low, then yeah, that would be the best thing I've ever discovered. I don't know if we should wait to talk about that in a podcast or if I should show people now, because any fan we have now deserves the alpha. But if I do it when we got a little bit more people around, it's like, well, I don't want everybody to use my secrets.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a few more podcasts to.
That's true. Also, Brian did it. Clear Value Tech. Shout out, Brian.
Is that where you?
That's where he literally.
That's where you learned it.
Yeah, he broke out the trading bots and the lending out the tether and all that
Oh,
good
that was
stuff.
the coup. He was doing the KuCoin
Yes.
on his. He did it all on his phone. I guess
He did all
I
on
guess
his
you
phone.
did
That's
too.
that inspired me. So we had already used KuCoin. I was like, oh, perfect. I already had some tether in there, And yeah, it's been making me a nice little chunk. So I was like, yeah, this is perfect. I'm paying you pay interest on your loan. So I loaned out the Litecoin and then sold it. So I was like, that was accruing more Litecoin I had to pay back. I was like, this is perfect. I'll offset my interest rate by loaning out my tether at a higher rate. And then when I want to close my position, I literally like made a little bit of margin on my fees. Yeah,
But you couldn't close your position.
No, because I didn't have the money in my account to buy the Litecoin that I needed.
So you're still in your still in your short position.
Yes,
right now.
no, I'm still.
How's it? I haven't even checked Litecoin. Is it?
Well,
how are you doing? I mean, you don't have to give like where you shorted it.
No,
but
I didn't. No, I mean, I already said the prices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was at 220, and I figured it would go down to 191. That's what I was
Okay.
going to set as the price. And then it got to 192, and I was like, oh, I guess, yeah, let me check. And then found that, and then now it's like at 200.
Okay.
So it's still down. I am a Litecoin hater, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's funnier being a Litecoin hater than thinking it's a good idea.
Whose podcast were we talking? Who hates Litecoin?
Ledger.
Ledger. Okay, so
Ledger's like, why would you own this?
the last Ledgercast, he was talking about it with his co-host. Yeah, and but I liked his co-host's perspective on it. He's like, people just think it's the silver to Bitcoin's gold.
That's
literally what people
and that's
think.
exactly what happened in 2017.
Yeah,
It hit 7.
Litecoin was like one of my biggest wins in 2017.
Yeah.
And
because when the two big boys moved, everyone was like, oh, this is clearly Ripple and Litecoin were like the only other reputable coins
Yeah.
out there. And so it shot up. What's funny, I think the meme is that Charlie Light, I don't even know if that's his real name.
Charlie Lee, that's his name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Satoshi Light is his handle. Yeah.
Oh,
Charlie Lee's his real name.
that's adorable.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. He sold all of his Litecoin.
I bought into him as like a person. I just thought he was.
It sounds cool. Honestly, it's funny because he sold out his Litecoin, which as an investor you think, do you not believe in your product? But for him, he's like, I don't want it to ever seem when I sell that I'm manipulating the market. I don't want to profit off. Like, I'm building this company because I want it to do well. I don't need this to be like, oh, my Litecoin's going to go up and I'm going to sell it, I'm going to retire. So I do think that he's probably a good guy. I just think it's funny that if you look up the description of Doge on Coinbase, it gives you like a little paragraph, and it's like, this is a meme currency. It doesn't do anything, much like Litecoin. And I don't.
That's awesome.
In the Doge description, I was like, why are y'all taking shots?
Yeah, who wrote that?
I have no idea.
That is absolutely hilarious.
It's hilarious, and I think that's kind of the.
Well, Litecoin was supposed to have some kind of utility when it first came out.
I mean, I
right?
think
it was faster or lower. There was some kind of something.
That's what
to
they said.
it.
It was more efficient.
More efficient but
than.
Now I don't even know what it is.
I don't know how that.
It literally
works.
feels like a fake hedge for Bitcoin holders.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And I think somebody asked me. I think we were in a group chat talking about this. What's Bitcoin Cash and what was the point of it and why? And I think a lot of these tried to solve this problem, which is maybe they saw it before we did. The asset class versus the currency issue is going to be Bitcoin's biggest opposition.
Yeah.
Is that it's never going. It's always going to. Its liquidity is always going to get smaller. It's not going to be something that is going to be flowing through.
People are not going to spend their Bitcoin ever.
Right.
Like,
and
it's not,
so, and then everyone's like, well, then you need a different version. And so Bitcoin Cash was like, oh, let's solve the currency problem. It's like, well, if you're just as volatile as Bitcoin.
I've been thinking about that a lot the last couple weeks, actually. I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think we're eventually going to get to the point where we have one coin that is the currency that's used as the normal medium of exchange? Or do you think it's going to be more spread out to where there's 6, 7, maybe 10 or 20 coins that you spend in different ways, and they're all run through some sort of blockchain that convert whatever you have into those coins? So based on what country you're in, or maybe what...
I think what's going to happen, and I don't know if this is like me looking at capitalism over the past couple decades or like what I want to happen, because I don't know if it's a good thing. I think you're going to have a focus at the top, whereas Ethereum is the playground you play in, so you better have Ether. And Solana, let's say, breaks out and is able to have its own network of things that you can only use on the Solana network, then that becomes a type of currency. I do think we're going to see a split. It's almost like freemium games where there's always going to be like the gold or the diamonds that there's no other way to get except you spend real money to get in, but you can always zoom out one more. You back up. What's the real money? And
I guess that's I wonder what the real money of crypto is going to be.
That not being issued by government is going to take probably more than our lifetime.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
But like that's what Bitcoin Cash thinks it is, and I think that's hilarious. So if that gives you any idea of how, if I think it's Bitcoin Cash or even Litecoin.
Yeah, I guess we are kind of getting way ahead of ourselves thinking anything's going to replace fiat in our lifetime. That's just not going to be a thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's cool to talk about further than that because
Yeah.
clearly this is going to be around for a while. But yeah, I think trying to speculate is just,
It's tough.
yeah.
And yeah, the more this goes, the less people, like, I've jokingly, like, especially in 2017 and 18, like, bought fun things with my Bitcoin that, like, I was
Sure.
like, oh, it's, like, I rented a car with Bitcoin once. Like,
Yeah.
now I look back and I'm just like, why would I, like,
Yeah.
it was just fun.
That's-
and the longer this goes, the more people are just going to hold on to that Bitcoin. They're not dropping that for anything.
Yeah.
That's never going to be
Because
a
every
currency.
story you hear about that is always,
It's just the pizza story.
clearly this is kind of speculation here, but it honestly wouldn't surprise me if something like Doge becomes, because of
Yeah.
how disconnected it is from the rat race almost that's been going on.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, it sounds like we're joking when we talk about it like that.
It really does.
But it's, I mean...
But if you make it more liquid, that's kind of what you want.
And you can, I mean, we're starting to see more and more things being memed into reality.
Yeah.
I mean, not that hard anymore. I mean,
No.
especially our generation and Gen Z. Are they the ones younger than us?
Yeah.
Who's under millennials? Gen Z? Yeah.
Yeah, isn't there one under Gen Z?
I have no idea. Surely not.
I thought so.
We're out of letters.
We started way too deep in the alphabet, by the way, with that.
I have no idea what.
We started at X. Why would we start at Gen X? They thought that sounded so cool.
Gen X is, yeah, I don't know.
Is
how
after Boomers.
Regardless,
Irregardless.
our generation and the generation below us bind to memes so hard that it would not surprise me one bit if Doge became the most exchanged media.
Yeah, because like, don't we say that like memes are social currency now anyway?
Yes.
Like that's just going to transform into memes or real currency.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was, unless you have another point on that.
Oh yeah, I guess my point is, it would be nice to think about it where you always just have multiple.
Yep.
And it's like an investment portfolio, but it's not. And moving from, oh, well, I got a bunch of Solana because I always play this game. But then like, oh, Ethereum, there's this new thing on Ethereum, and it's easy to go from Solana to Ethereum, and you're not losing your ass on the in between, like on the exchange.
That's
so
gonna have to
maybe
be-
maybe it does turn into something like Ethereum, and Ethereum Classic is like one represents the investment class of the. It's kind of like what Bancor does, where the BNT is like the investment vehicle, and the VBNT gives you voting stake in their governance.
Mm-hmm.
So like the coins can serve so many purposes that maybe we see forks of that when we kind of see it, I guess, adopted as a norm. But
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're a few decades away
Yeah,
from this
yeah, we're kind of going
forming into reality, but it is super interesting to think about.
very much so.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to. We were talking about meme coins, and we kind of had some experiences with that.
We did, yeah.
This week, we
These shit, like when you say shitcoin,
yeah,
I was like,
we went
I was
to a
like,
new
oh,
level.
Rook and Badger. No, these shitcoins where it's like, we personally know people with net worths way higher than these market caps.
Yeah.
Like we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars market cap, and
Well, so this all started. We've never gone this deep into the shitcoin hole.
No,
and
we have
like,
not.
and this all started because Sean hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, I've been trying to figure out a way to flip some pretty."
we can talk about the first one. I feel like because
Sure, yeah. I just don't want to. I don't want to throw a bunch of names out there just because this is not a very safe like.
true, this is not. I'd suggest nobody touching.
Yeah,
these,
no one do-
especially because the flashes are so quick that if this comes out in a couple days, like the story is going to be completely different. So, but we can talk about the first one because it's funny and because
It
I
is
think
funny.
I think it shows it well. Hoj,
Which is Doge
just Doge, but with an H.
with an H.
You wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it.
Sean hit me up and he was like, "Mike, listen, trust me." He's like,
It's here.
buy Hoj, and I was like, what is this?"
Mm-hmm.
And we just looked into it, and that's literally what it is. I mean, I think they have some kind of fake narrative where they're like, "Yeah, it's like Doge, but we're deflationary, and we remove
Sure.
we burn our token." Like,
I've noticed
okay.
a lot of those are giving that, which is like it's community driven is the terms they like to use, and then yeah, it's deflationary where every time there's a transaction, you have a burn rate along with a distribution. So like if you already hold Doge, part of each transaction goes to Hoj goes to every holder, Hozier, and then 1% gets burned. So it's clearly like this isn't a scam type narrative, which I'm sure it negates some level of a person that can straight up just manipulate all of it and print coins. So like I do see how this is. They clearly were like, okay, we have to make it a little bit more legit to get the common man involved. But like,
I mean, as long as you get a community around something that
the-
doesn't think it's a scam, it all of a sudden becomes not a scam.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of how this works.
That's my biggest issue about like when people say stocks are so different. Like, if you read A Random Walk Down Wall Street, one of the best quotes in that is, "There is no true value of an item except where you can convince a fool to pay for it."
Which is
That's
just economies. I don't know what.
Yeah,
I don't,
that is truly what, like, we talk about gold and like, why is gold worth something? Why were seashells all the economy at a certain point?
but
If Hoj is a better meme than Doge, and the problem with Doge is real, there are too few people who hold too much of Doge.
yes,
And so
that's Elon's biggest qualm. with
yeah,
it,
and if you can push Hoj as like, hey, this is truly deflationary, it's community driven, there's a better governance model, and then Elon's gonna be like, yeah, so yeah, cool, pump it. Then how can you? That's not a criminal act, is all I'm saying, and it just feels odd.
I mean, the whole crypto journey feels odd and feels like kind of illegal and scam. Like it all
agreed.
kind of gets, but like, I don't know.
Why do you think no trade or no like Forex or DEX or anything works in the United States?
Yeah.
Because clearly they're like, we are here to swing the hammer. Like they know they're too late, so now it's like, well, just gotta smash people and collect the coins that they drop.
Well, Sean getting into Hoj and like, I mean, doing pretty well at it, and then he texted us right before we started the pod today, and I don't want to say the name of this one, but he 10x'd an even.
Okay, so what we will say is around the time that like Pancake Swap and these, it was like and Sushi Swap, a lot of food coins were just popping out.
Food platforms, like
just literally just food memes, and those were a little bit bigger. Those were in like the double-digit millions
Those are
of
real
market
companies.
caps. After Hoj, the meme animal stocks have been
everywhere.
If you can name an animal, there is a coin after it, and there is some sort of probably energy behind a telegram to be like, let's make this the new meme.
Yep. And we dove in head first. Yeah. You found some wild stuff.
Some small boys. From what I can tell, here's the problem. When Sean sent us the thing about Hoj, I was like, cool, let me look it up. Impossible.
You can't.
I couldn't find a chart for 2 or 3 days.
No, that's not true with Hoj. I track Hoj on Blockfolio.
Oh, you're right. It was on Blockfolio.
It was the next coin.
In the beginning, yes.
Yeah.
And then I found, so if anybody really wants to go diving on this, and you find a shitcoin that you like, go to dextools.io and then launch the app, and it just takes the transactions right off Etherscan. So it generates the chart based on the buying and selling power, which is what it is. But you don't have to rely on an app like Blockfolio or Delta or something.
So we're literally talking about coins that are so small. I remember you texting us back in the group. You were like, I can't even find this on CoinMarketCap. Like, this is nowhere.
CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, I feel like
that's a.
They have to have hundreds of thousands.
I think it's like they have like the top 10,000 coins usually, and the fact that we couldn't find this, and then for the following 2 or 3 nights we just dove head first. I remember, of course, we don't know exactly like what the numbers were, but I remember you aped into a coin and you were like, it says here 38 people own this coin.
It was potentially the 39th person to ever hold this coin.
And like you were literally just watching each buy and sell order go in.
I also texted you guys today that this is very unhealthy.
Yep, I knew it. I could tell last night when you were, but I mean, again, we won't say the coin, but you woke up this morning and the first text I see is, hey,
at 5x.
Oops.
Had some good memes saved up. Hey, thanks. It's not that anymore.
I mean, it was still last time we looked like a 3x.
I think it's still 2 or 3.
But you didn't pull any out.
I didn't pull any out because the problem is you put a little bit in and gas fees are $50 per, and you're like, well, better really cash out before that's completely not the way to think about it. But it's like everything. This is a learning experience.
Yes.
Now I know I can watch the buy and sell orders and do some kind of reading off of that.
Yeah, I mean, just based off of what you and Shauna found this week, I mean, again, do not do any of this, but I'm going to do all of this.
This is going to make us so much money.
And
we're going to lose so much money probably too. But I think we have the wherewithal.
Yeah,
I know that's kind of everybody's thinking the same thing, but it's us.
But us, yeah,
us.
We're different.
They think they're going to make money off it,
but we will.
We're right.
We will, exactly.
Correct.
This will definitely work.
Yes, it will definitely work.
100%.
And we will report when we retire.
Sure. Well, then we'll name all the coins we're.
Yeah.
But how did you even? Okay, so real quick, how did you find this coin that 39 people own or whatever?
So I got in the Telegram group for. Okay, so no. What's funny is that I was trying to search Twitter for Hoj, and all the tweets that were about Hoj were like, "Oh, did you miss the boat on Hoj?" I was like, "Well, I didn't think the boat was over." So apparently that was already, by the time it hit our radar, we're like, oh, there's multiple layers deeper than even what we're going. So I tried to poke around at some Twitter accounts with 37 followers type thing, and found a good Telegram group about a animal meme coin that I could have 2x'd within the first 15 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And I think I've lost almost everything in there. So you started out not good. And then from that Telegram group I joined, my goodness.
Yeah, you were just naming coins.
There are some humans, some characters in that Telegram group. What's great is that you can also, on Dex Tools, look at people's public address and see what coins they hold.
Yeah, that's
the alpha right there. Is you find a good trail of meme coins,
just follow the breadcrumbs.
What else is that guy sold out 3 ETH on that? Like, okay, well, what else is he holding? So that we're gonna look into a little bit.
Just find
of
a public address you trust, and
there's no one I trust.
Well, we don't know who these people are.
No,
but
I trust they want to make money.
Yes.
So I will skate. I will find a way. We're gonna skate it. That's what we're gonna do.
I think literally what this comes down to is we got bored with crypto, the normal. We got bored with the 10 or 20
We
X's.
got bored with the gains.
Yeah. So it's like, well, how do we just make money faster?
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's also we got bored with the Bitcoin percentage rise over the past year and a half is insane, and then every once in a while it's like Maker. Those first couple months, Maker went up 2,000% in 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then you saw these just enormous explosions of mid caps to large caps that really didn't reflect oh, this company got way better. It was almost like we couldn't figure out how the Battleship board was working, where these people would just explode. And so we're kind of trying to shotgun blast, but realizing that that's just if it got that big, there's almost no way to predict it. So we're like, well, then let's go to the apple tree. And the boredom really set in where I want to be able to wait 4 minutes between every transaction, so I can search that person. This isn't a going back and forth.
Yeah, no, not at all. So we're probably going to regret a lot of the decisions we make from this rabbit hole. But
oh my gosh, I can't.
Have you just been refreshing the trades all day long and just watching them all come in? Are there any? Has anyone whaled in yet, or is it all micro?
There's always a couple. The biggest thing I see is 3 ETH.
Okay.
I don't really see anything more than that, which is less than $6,000. But yeah, like I said, the market cap on that was $300,000. And there was 200 people in the Telegram group. I was like, okay, that's most of us.
We were watching a video right after we found this. It was just on in the background, and whoever we were watching was like, "You guys you're so obsessed with trying to find these 10 million market cap coins." And I just started.
I was like,
huh,
he said that like it was small.
10 million.
Funny.
So we haven't seen 1 million in the last 5 coins we bought.
Exactly.
Which is So I'm sure plenty of. I don't know. I also kind of have a theory where some of the OGs kind of play the same game and just don't talk about it.
I think so.
Because it's one of those things where if you have money to play with, you might get 100x a coin in a week. It's not, you know what I mean?
And what you can do with
you can't really shill this stuff.
Yeah, what you can do with $100,000 is unethical almost.
Yeah. It's literally life changing. I think that's where a lot of these OGs are now just kind of playing and having fun.
Yeah,
it's these super low cap coins.
This is super fun. If I didn't have a day job, this would be really fun.
Well, that's what you said. I texted the group and I was like, Carson's not going to do any real work, and you said this is the real work.
This is the
now.
real work.
Yeah,
I did work today, but I have 2 monitors for this reason.
Yep.
And that was.
I'm very excited. I haven't really. I got into Hoj and one other small one, but I have not. You and Sean are in deep.
I just want to follow the because it's one of those if you take a day or 2 off, everyone's moved.
Yep.
So I want to stay on the trail of breadcrumbs and see if I can pick up patterns.
And worst case scenario, we're going to learn a lot.
Exactly. I already did. Already being able to look at the transactions and because it's obvious. You scroll down, it gives you the last 100 transactions in that list. Green is buy, red is sell. Are there a lot more greens than reds? Then it's going up.
Mm-hmm.
It breaks it down so simply that I was like, oh, I could see if I had $100,000 here and I was putting in a couple grand at a time, I could really make this look so different.
Yeah.
That's I think the issue is if you ever see that motion, you're like, okay, well you're in, but when's that person exiting? Or is it the same? I guess because you can see wallets, you know if it's the same person.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying is eventually, I don't know, I don't want to get super into how we might approach this in the future because
we don't know how to approach it.
No, I know, but I have a couple ideas that I'll either sound really stupid trying to explain them, or we might not want to give away that alpha yet.
I like it.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah, let's get rich first.
yeah, either get rich or go bankrupt. We wanted to add one little segment to the pod. We can name one Degen coin
Okay.
each week and
Was that it?
spin the Magic 9 ball
Oh.
to ask if we should buy it.
Oh, okay.
But so I don't know. Out of all the meme coins you've talked about this week,
Okay, I don't want to talk about one that's like might have gone too far.
yeah, we could do
We could do Nico Cats.
you would do Nico Cats.
I mean, that one's already like over.
Is that the one with 39 people?
No, the next one was.
Okay,
The
yeah,
one
don't do
after
that
next.
one.
No, I don't want to do that one.
Nico Cats is 100%
so
like.
We'll talk Nico Cats.
Okay.
This one's probably over.
I mean, I want to buy it.
We're about to find out. So
Okay.
Let's say that I like two accidents.
What's the
started
tag?
a
What's the
rug.
cash tag for Nico Cats? Do you remember?
NCT.
Okay.
Here's the problem. NCT could be anything. The National Congress of Technology. Like it's a bad token.
It's a bad. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna ask the
I'm
Magic
wondering-
9
I'm wondering
ball.
if we should switch.
Do you want to switch? I'm gonna purchase whatever this ball tells me to purchase
We're gonna
tonight.
mute this. We're gonna mute these next 5 seconds of this podcast. What are you thinking?
I was gonna say poodle, but it mooned really.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say sloth, but
What is sloth?
exactly. Okay, we're gonna talk about sloth. I saw this in a telegram, and so also, and then when
I've never heard of this.
When I searched on Dex Pro, it was like, "Are you talking about sloth token or sloth.finance?" And I was like, "Great
Both?
question. I have no idea."
Both.
Yeah, so don't do this.
Yeah, but
I'm going to. Well, let's find out. Okay, don't do this. At people at
should
home.
we buy sloth?
Should we get into sloth? Market like right now.
Spinning the Magic 9 ball.
Spinning the magic. Speak to me.
It takes some. It's kind of.
Oh, and it's bubbly in there.
Yep.
Not in a million years. Okay, well.
Try it again.
Yeah. Okay, let's try again. Magic 9 ball.
Sometimes it's not sure.
Should I buy sloth?
Yeah, but we have to listen to it.
Oh. Where are you at?
What do you say? Can you read it?
Yes. Now leave me alone.
See,
We're in.
that's not financial advice,
That's 9 ball advice.
but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. No, I think that settled that debate.
Okay, good.
That's called technical analysis.
That's what that
Because
is.
that was technically analysis.
That was yeah, exactly. So
Cha-ching.
that's how we're gonna buy a coin every week from now on. We're just gonna follow the 9 ball.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what we should do? We should bring a list next time. We'll let it guide us. We'll kind of move up and down the list until we
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And we'll like choose which words we mute,
Yes.
like
yes.
coins we name throughout.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Telegram group would be happy with us broadcasting that.
They probably, hey, that might be a cool little hack to get fans of the podcast too. These
That's
communities are just gonna shill this
true.
podcast. That's gonna be so funny.
Gosh, if we become the literal shitcoin church,
We're definitely gonna get in trouble.
I was gonna say
Okay.
we'd go to jail.
Okay, that's gonna be a fun segment we definitely do every week now.
Yep. Magic
and
9 ball.
you want to end on some long or short?
Oh, I like it.
We've been going for like 45 minutes.
Oh, I like it. Let me pull up my thing.
I've been so proud of my long or shorts the last few weeks. I'm not as proud
I
of the
literally
ones today.
forgot last
so
week,
like,
and we like pulled it off, and then it was you this week.
yeah,
that
but it's
didn't-
okay.
that didn't happen.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna let you start
I was
because I
gonna
started
say, 'cause
last
I think
week.
you started. Yep. Okay, long or short. ADA as the price right now. They got listed on Coinbase for people who don't know, or maybe this is a couple days late. They got listed. Either they announced they're getting listed today, or they got listed
Yeah.
today
On Coinbase Pro, yes.
And they went to like $1.20 something.
From what were they at yesterday?
I think they were like at one. I can't pull up the chart right now. 'cause
Okay,
my internet's
that's
off. It went up like 25%. It went up a lot. So right now, let's say it hadn't really dipped from that high.
So you're saying, am I longing it going higher?
Yeah. Do you see it settling down, or do you see Coinbase being like a permanent addition to the value of that coin?
Look, the universe just wants me to think there's value to this coin, and I don't know why.
Really, Cardano.
Cardano. I just
Okay.
Yeah, like I can't explain why. I'm not a fan of it. I don't own any, and I won't own any. And which is fine. If you do, you do. Something keeps telling me that this coin is going to keep going up, and we'll see.
It has great potential. It's got great.
It's great potential. Nothing's happened yet,
It's got great potential. And they have a Charlie started with a W, head of that. He's a little bit of an oddball.
Who?
The guy who runs the ADA.
Oh, like a Charlie Lee type character?
Yeah, but it's Charlie Worth something or like that.
I just know nothing about that company or that coin. It's just something that's been on my radar since 2017, and I've never understood what it was, or never looked into it enough to understand why people love it so much.
Right, because it seems we've always just assumed that it's like a reputable thing, but we never.
I mean, I kind of always assume it's not a reputable, like whatever company I'm looking at in crypto, I'm very like pessimistic,
okay.
but I'm also like
'Cause
optimistic on the asset
I was
class.
like, oh my gosh, Ripple's like a real company, and then
Yeah. See, that's what Ripple ruined it for me. I was so convinced in 2017 that Ripple was like the real deal.
because they were making deals with banks and
Yeah,
stuff,
I didn't-
probably for like $5,000. They just like wanted to put the press release out.
The headline sounded great, and then I was like, oh wait, like everyone's kind of full of shit.
Yeah.
So that's but just off of principle, I'm gonna long it.
Okay.
That says nothing about how I feel about the coin. I just think it's gonna keep going up. I mean, it might settle for a little bit.
I mean,
but
long term, you got to think.
once it gets listed, man, I just think people are gonna buy it. It's talked about too much,
yeah,
and
the average investor, because I think you'll see a lot of the XRP army that maybe is more scared of the SEC stuff.
Well,
I could see that being like a landing point for them.
one of our homies that like day trades stocks, when he hit me about crypto, he was like, hey man, yeah, I'm being told to watch Ethereum and ADA right now. And I was like, how do you even know what ADA is?
Yeah,
like,
that makes me sad.
So it's like that's
Okay, the first time you told me that, you told me he bought ADA and one other thing. It wasn't Ethereum, and I
don't remember what it was.
was like, bro, why didn't you buy Ethereum or Ether? And he was like, and then you're like, oh, he did buy some Ether. I was like, okay, good.
I think he
Don't-
bought Bitcoin and Ethereum and then was asking about the other coin.
Okay, cool.
But yeah.
You just got to start there.
Yeah, sure. Along the price there.
I like it.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you long? I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Are you long or short on this environmental FUD affecting the market in the medium term?
Oh, okay.
It's from like a retail investor point of view. Do you think people are actually going to take this seriously and kind of fear the market a little bit?
Okay, so I think it is palpable what it did to the NFT craze. I think it was a legitimate detractor
Okay.
from what could be seen as like widespread adoption. And I think part of the reason is artists normally are like liberally slanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a lot more climate concerns from that side of the aisle, and that's kind of where the Twitter conversation comes from a lot of times. So I think the fact you had a lot of artists, whether it's grandstanding or whether it's genuine or anything like that, I think you had a lot of artists. It's almost like it's self-inflicted harm.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it will. I do think it will have a negative effect, but I think it will show itself mostly like Kevin O'Leary said, where public companies are going to be more hesitant before they ape into like Bitcoin as just a percentage of their balance sheet.
Just from a PR perspective.
Yeah, because it's like, well, as our investors, it's good because we get a better percentage return off this than this, and then you have to answer those questions so often that whatever Kevin O'Leary was talking about, the zero carbon mining or whatever, if that's a real thing and it's large enough where multiple companies can adopt that, then I guess it works out well that the FUD kind of flattens it for a while. But if they figure that out, those companies have the resources and the money and probably the desire to get in. So in the long term, that's a problem solved. Mm-hmm. There is a little free market fix for what could be an environmental issue.
I like it.
Okay.
Hit me with the second one.
Second one, long or short, kettle corn.
Like
the food.
These are. I'm short.
Thank you.
I don't like kettle corn.
Everybody loves kettle corn.
Oh, okay. Do they?
I don't. I just hear about it all the time. I hate kettle corn.
Is it? What is it? Is it
It's
like
the sweet popcorn, but it's like I don't know what makes it sweet. It's like honey.
It's not the popcorn Sean makes, right? Or like the with the Sean sauce?
No, that's just
good,
butter.
That's just good popcorn.
Yeah, so there's like buttery popcorn, then there's cheesy popcorn, and then there's kettle corn.
Oh yeah.
So have you ever got like the Christmas bins of like different types of popcorn?
Yes.
There's the kettle corn one in there. Like chocolate covered popcorn smacks. I'm not saying that popcorn as a dessert is a bad idea, but for whatever reason, kettle corn's like, are you salty or are you sweet? Pick a side.
Gotcha.
You will not be if you're not going to be a dessert. Don't be a dessert. And I just don't. I have a problem with it.
I'll short it.
Thank you.
I'll short it for
I'm
you.
shorting
Yeah,
it
that's fine.
for life.
I don't even know if I've ever eaten it.
Good.
Then I'll short it.
I personally have an issue with it.
My second one is way less.
Like the second one's got to be a little goofy. Was my second one Meghan Markle last time?
Oh well, mine's Robin Hood going public.
Oh.
So that's not quite as.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
We're still in the market. So.
Talk about a joke. That's
Sure.
perfect.
Well, yeah. Sorry. Are you long and short on Robinhood's initial offering when they go public? Do we even have a date that they're going public yet?
They do not. Oh, this is going off of the eToro news, which I don't really even think we talked about.
No, we didn't get to that.
Well, briefly, eToro, which was kind of I didn't really know about that or Webull. I knew about Robinhood until kind of the GameStop fiasco. That was just the kind of like lowest barrier to entry retail investing platform that a lot of people were using. mostly for index funds and stocks, and they just kind of added crypto in there. Now I've heard it's not like, I think Robinhood had this issue where you don't own the Bitcoin, you own the rights to. There's an extra layer where we had a friend of ours get liquidated out of a. Right? Didn't she get liquidated out of?
Oh yeah, from Robinhood.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was something
Because
about like
she
bought the coin, but for some reason, I guess I don't know if it's price fluctuation, but you don't technically own the cryptocurrency asset, and I think it's a regulatory issue.
Okay.
And I think it's probably
Yeah, I don't fully
America.
understand how that works.
Me neither. But so eToro went public via SPAC, which SPAC is the word of 2021, maybe 2020.
Shouts to Chamath.
Shouts to Chamath. Except Clover, we got to see what's going on with that. There's the up and down side of the SPAC is that you're allowed to be like, in 5 years we think we're going to do this, which could be good for, could be genuine, could not be genuine.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also don't have to disclose certain things, and that's what happened with Clover. Is they found out something about the CEO and kind of stuff they didn't talk about. So eToro went live via SPAC, and they were valued at $800 million. So yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about. Well, do I think Robinhood will be more? Yeah, absolutely. Robinhood will definitely be more than $800 million because Coinbase is already valued at not $100 billion.
I don't know what Coinbase is valued at. I just think this Robinhood FUD is going to kind of disappear.
I actually think Coinbase is going to be valued at $100 billion. I think
really?
Because I was going to say $1 billion, but no, I'm pretty sure it was
that
100.
That seems high, but I mean, also that. Doesn't...
Robinhood will break $1 billion for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Instagram sold years ago for $1 billion. Like that would be so much more. Than
yeah,
that.
I was just curious.
I do think it was $100 billion in Coinbase, which is crazy. I think it'll be in the billions, and they will wait.
Gotcha.
Oh, I guess they already did seed rounds over $1 billion valuation because they had to make so much. They had to get so much money in their bank account after the GameStop stuff.
Yeah, that's why I thought that you had to choose a date you went public once you did that, but I guess not.
They're probably gonna go via SPAC,
okay.
which is like the SPAC is already public and it just you just merge into
it's
the
kind
company.
of a rolling start into that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Do you have a third one?
My final one. Okay. Are you long or short? I guess this is kind of just in general, or maybe let's make it fun. Okay. Long or short? People who get most of their investment advice from TikTok.
Oh God.
Ending up in the green.
I'm not deep enough in the TikTok hole.
Me neither, but we showed that one TikTok and we both had a hard time finishing it.
I'm gonna long that because I think if you're in.
Oh, you believe in the children?
I believe in the children because my nephew's like the smartest person I know, and he's not a child, but he's one generation below us.
Sure,
and
that kind of counts. That's people watching TikTok.
That's kind of the generation that's super in TikTok right now. I'm going to long that because A, I think they're smarter than people give them credit for, and B, if you're just kind of aware of crypto right now, I think you're going to make money.
Okay.
And I'm more longing the asset class as a whole.
I agreed. Like that wasn't even obviously because it wasn't even around when we were born. But when we were that young, we weren't even thinking about assets.
I was yelling at Halo 3 till I was like 19.
Because
I did not.
For us, it was like, well, just wait till you could buy a house in your 20s.
Yeah.
Like there was no. Yeah.
I'm pretty long on kids talking about crypto making money.
That is kind of funny that like even if they're giving bad or dumb advice, like.
And it's not even necessarily. It's just cringy.
Yeah, you're right. It's just cringy and we've seen it before, but also like.
We literally were talking about the dude we just watched on TikTok. It was the exact same thing someone we respect was talking about an hour ago. It's just we were laughing at how horribly...
Right. We literally watched an hour live stream breaking down like the specifics of it, and then this guy does a 15-second TikTok about how they're manipulating the F2 pool numbers, and I'm just like, okay. Well,
which when we started TikTok, I can't wait till we start our TikTok.
Get your bag.
We're gonna look like that guy.
Oh God. We just need a real green screen, and we're miles ahead.
We have a green screen. We bought one.
We do.
We own a green screen. Okay.
Sick. That was okay.
All right. So my third one was something we already kind of talked about. Are you long or short on our shitcoin season this cycle?
I'm the longest that anyone has ever been.
You think we're actually gonna make some money?
I will not have a job in 5 months.
All right. Well, that was easy. I mean, I agree.
Staking everything on it.
I tweeted it today. The torch has been passed. You and Sean are in charge. Whatever dumb coins y'all find, I'm buying.
What do I have to sell to get funds to put into these coins? That's where I'm at.
Yep.
Now, I'll leave it at that.
We'll start with Sloth.
We'll start with Sloth. I think it's got good tokenomics. That's a word you hear floating around the telegrams.
This podcast is going real Degen real fast, and I have.
But we'll look back at this and be like, God, remember before Sloth made us $1 million?
Jesus Christ. Do not do this.
Don't do it. Please don't do this.
Don't buy. Just do your own research.
This is the opposite of financial advice.
You can't even do research into any of these coins. It's just like,
yeah, no. Will
this work?
The one I was looking at, the one we're probably going to mute in our discussion previously, doesn't even have a website. And the Telegram's like, guys, somebody please make a website.
That's my favorite. When I saw that, I was like,
here's this one. He's like, no,
in.
that's literally a PDF that you found from somewhere else. Please, somebody make a website and make memes for me.
Yep.
I was like, oh, this
because the owner of the creator of that coin is dead.
Is dead. Got it.
So yeah, community-driven coins that mean nothing.
That seems to be the buzz
you could
term.
Very easily get rugged on.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
But yeah, no, that was the best setup. Was like, oh, it's a community-driven project. Why? What happened to the devs? Oh, he's dead. Oh.
I'm in.
To the moon.
Yep. We'll report back next week.
We'll let you know. We'll broadcast from our Mars base.
Dope.
It's been good.
Peace.
Big thanks to our sponsor over at CryptoCandies.io. Head on over to their website and check out their selection. They're always adding super dope and unique new crypto-themed designs, and we greatly appreciate their support.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Crypto Dojo. If you enjoyed it, be sure to rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, follow on Spotify, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And feel free to hit us up on Twitter and IG at Crypto Dojo Pod. We'd love to hear from you.